Every time you unlock your phone by looking at the screen, or scroll through a social feed that seems to know exactly what video you want to watch next, you are interacting with artificial intelligence. We can look at this technology as a layered set of practical tools. Once you understand how those layers work, you can use them to build your own projects and find new ways to generate revenue. To understand how these tools fit together, think of AI as a set of 3 wooden nesting dolls. The largest doll on the outside represents the overarching concept of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a broad field of computer science dedicated to getting machines to mimic the way a human thinks and behaves. In practice, this means a computer might make a logic-based decision on the fastest route home in heavy traffic, or recognize the specific words you speak from across the room. Because it covers so many different tasks, artificial intelligence serves as our destination, the point on the horizon we are trying to reach. To see how we actually get there, we have to open up this large outer doll and look at the engine running inside. Tucked inside our first doll is the second layer, machine learning. For a long time, getting a computer to do something required typing out exact step-by-step instructions. Machine learning changes that by moving away from rigid rules and instead feeding the computer examples. Think about how you would teach a toddler to recognize a cat. You wouldn't hand them a written checklist detailing 4 legs and whiskers. You would just show them a bunch of pictures of cats until their brain naturally recognizes the pattern. Machine learning operates on this exact same flashcard principle. By showing the computer massive amounts of data, thousands or millions of examples, it finds the mathematical patterns on its own. This diagram shows the shift. In traditional programming on the top path, you give the computer data and the rules, and it calculates the answers. On the bottom path, machine learning takes the data and the known answers and uses them to figure out the rules. With every new flashcard it sees, the machine adjusts its internal math. It tweaks its own logic so that the next time it encounters similar data, its prediction is more accurate. This ability to learn from experience makes machine learning the engine of AI. It allows computers to handle complex tasks without a human programmer needing to anticipate every possible scenario. But there is still one more doll inside. When we open up machine learning, we find the final core layer, deep learning. Deep learning is a highly specialized version of machine learning. It is designed to handle messy, unstructured information, like raw audio or video feeds, that standard algorithms struggle to process. You see this in action with autonomous vehicles. Navigating a busy street is chaotic, and self-driving cars use deep learning to instantly interpret their surroundings, identifying pedestrians, reading stop signs, and tracking other cars all at once. To process that level of detail, deep learning borrows a design from biology. It uses artificial neural networks, which are digital systems modeled after the structure of human brain cells. These artificial neurons are stacked in layers. The first layer might look for simple edges or lines in an image, passing that information through multiple layers of abstraction until the network identifies complex features, like a human face, without any human intervention. Now that we have unpacked these concepts, we can set the dolls aside to look at the practical execution. You don't need an advanced degree to build these systems. You simply need to assemble an accessible AI toolbelt. That toolbelt relies on 3 specific skills. First, Python, which is a standard, easy-to-learn programming language. Second, basic statistics, so you understand how the machine measures probability. And third, data handling, which is the process of organizing information so the machine can read it. Focusing on these foundations changes your relationship with the technology. It gives you the specific vocabulary needed to command these systems yourself, moving you into the role of a creator. How does this understanding of layers and data translate into a profitable side hustle or business? The most reliable path to making money with AI is to avoid building a massive general system. Instead, the goal is to solve a very specific niche problem. One strategy is building a micro SaaS, or a small software service. For example, a teenager recently built a calorie tracking app that generates millions of dollars in revenue. The app uses a narrow deep learning model to solve a single pain point. Instead of typing out every meal, a user simply scans the plate, and the model recognizes the food and extracts the nutritional data instantly. If building an app isn't for you, these tools can also turbocharge traditional freelance services. Whether you build websites, write copy, or edit videos, using AI tools for the heavy lifting allows you to produce the volume and quality of a full agency in a fraction of the time. AI functions as a nested toolbox of data and pattern recognition. The future economy belongs to those who unpack these dolls and put the tools to work.